So how is this, or what is the
Well,
organization?
there's another kind of thing too. Down at the bottom, talk about prison sentences and reform.
There you go. That's the problem. This is not organized by light viewers and heavy viewers. It goes back and forth, heavy, light, heavy, light. So there's another, what is this discussion about heavy and light viewers?
Like overall viewing.
Well, overall viewing and how does it relate to crime? Anyone see what's going on there? Heavy viewers tend to believe that crime is on the upswing, okay? So heavy, crime is up. Light viewers have a more realistic picture. So do they believe crime is down?
No, they-
Not
they-
necessarily, okay? This is just saying light is more realistic. Okay? What's this part saying about heavy viewers? Not surprisingly, heavy viewers of television are fans of tough anti-crime measures and stiffer prison sentences. Light viewers, in contrast, tend to favor social programs over longer prison sentences. So what are the heavy viewers doing here?
Oh, they're in favor of heavier sentences.
Okay. And what are light viewers doing here? They're also more in favor of reform, they're less likely to favor maximum security prisons. So what are the light viewers doing in this part? Heavier
Reform,
sentences,
reform.
yeah. Okay, so now that we have that, what are the two, what could you put out here as far as identifying these two parts? What does this first part talk about as opposed to the second part? Disa, what's going on here? What could you say as a topic for just this part? Heavy and light viewers and and the crime rate, right? The crime rate, what's actually happening as far as what crimes are being committed. Okay, so this is what's called the crime rate. Heavy viewers think the crime rate is up, light viewers don't necessarily think so. So what's the topic of this second part? Is this the crime rate?
No, that's how they want to punish.
Yeah. Basically, here's the way the last class broke this down. The first part is crime, and the second part is punishment. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we haven't seen before, is where it kind of goes back and forth between the two things we're talking about, and you have to figure out what the sections are. It's not quite so obvious. It's interesting because my writing class, my 301 class that meets on Tuesday, Thursday, is doing their compare-contrast paper right now. And what this is actually called, has anybody written a compare-contrast paper that gives you a choice of these two different organizations? Do you know what that's called? Anybody remember that? This would, if you were organizing it this way, in other words, if you said light viewers think crime is more realistic and they favor lighter prison sentences. Heavy viewers think crime is up and they favor heavier prison sentences. What if it had been organized that way? This is called, that's called the block by block organization. Anybody recognize that? A lot of textbooks call that, and this is called point by point. So instead of going light viewers, heavy viewers, it goes crime, heavy and light, and punishment, heavy and light. So what that means is, and the reason I wanted to hear your different thesis statements, this is why Valerie's works, because she didn't necessarily just say this. It's not just that crime is up or crime is down. You have to take this into, okay? So you could group the details. They have different views about crime. You might want to say they have different views about crime and punishment, because you have to get this idea in there. This is half of the paragraph. People who watch heavy TV viewers think the crime rate is higher than light TV viewers, and they also favor heavier prison sentences than light viewers do. You have to get that all in there. So to say they have different views is one way to put that, stop that from getting too long. Does that make sense to people? Yeah, this is what I'm saying. These are getting, it's not that the paragraphs are getting longer, but some of them are just have a more sophisticated organization than ones that we've seen, so you have to be careful.
So on the main idea, you put different views about crime and punishment? Let's put crime and punishment?
Well, what's the first part of your sentence?
Different views? The different views?
Okay, is that a complete sentence
No.
for your main idea? Then you have to
The
make it into
different
a
views
complete
about
sentence.
crime and punishment.
Yeah, this has to be a complete sentence.
And I got it wrong the first time.
Yeah. So your main idea, the topic is a thing or things, the main idea has to be a complete sentence.
The different views about crime and punishment.
Okay? Okay. Let's look at the next one. This one is more user-friendly because it goes back to our traditional format. What's the traditional format here? Why do I say this one goes back to the traditional format? Yeah, there's a reversal transition starting off the second sentence. So now you guys are at the point where you say, this is, thank goodness, this is going to be easy to read, right? Okay. Most people know that snake venom can be deadly. And what does this word mean? What is venom?
Poison.
Yeah, this is the poison that they give off.
Or toxic.
Yeah, it comes, their teeth have little holes in them, and when a snake bites you, something back, there's little sacs here, and something pushes the poison out through their teeth, and it goes into its prey. Okay. However, few people are aware that snake venom can, on occasion, save lives and ease pain. Okay, so what list do you see here? How many?
Venom comes up a lot.
Okay, yeah. So you have, you have this, a Russell's viper, a pit viper, and then here's an also. Okay.
Venom can be deadly, venom can save lives, venom causes uncontrolled bleeding, can act as a painkiller, treatment for cancer or arthritis.
Okay, good. So obviously your topic is what? That was pretty easy.
So venom.
Yeah.
Snake
It's
venom.
the paragraph is a list itself.
Yeah, and the paragraph is a list of
Snake venom.
ways that snake venom can do what?
Snake venom properties.
Snake what?
It's a list of snake venom properties. Of what
Well,
it can do.
one of the snake venom properties is that it's poison, right? But is that what this paragraph is about? So yeah, there's,
How it heals.
you want to be a little bit more specific besides just its properties, because one of the properties is that it's deadly. So Michael, what did you put?
And this is for the main idea, right? I put that some snake venom has life-saving properties.
Okay, life-saving properties, and also what else? The life-saving properties are that it's,
And pain.
it can stop bleeding, or it can cause bleeding. It's interesting, it's exactly the opposite. One stops uncontrolled bleeding, one dissolves, in other words, causes bleeding. So those can be life-saving, but what about the third one? Is that necessarily, is killing arthritis pain necessarily life-saving?
For the main idea, I put snake venom can be deadly, but it's also used for medical purposes.
There you go. Again, try to get something that's group the detail. That's what this is called. And that's what I'm gonna be writing on people's papers. It's not easy. You gotta get a phrase that gets everything in there. So just the life-saving only really is this, okay? This is the life-saving idea. This isn't, arthritis pain isn't gonna kill you, okay? I mean, it gets bad, but
It causes stress on the body.
yeah, but it's probably not gonna kill you in itself, okay? So then, here's the other thing to do, that we're gonna move, our next thing on the list when we get into our next lesson. You can give a try when you have found your main sentence here. When you found your sentence with the reversal transition, that should be the, remember we've been giving this a star and kind of calling it our important sentence. Check what you write down for the main idea against that sentence, okay? Few people are aware that snake venom can save lives and ease pain, okay? So that's why Danny's grouping of details, and what did you, that has medical purposes, yeah, has good medical purposes.
Because
Yeah,
the
that
medical
group
purpose
spoke
of it is basically just being a painkiller or counteracting other venomous.
being a painkiller and not counteracting other venoms, but doing these other two things. So if you get a grouping of details, it has positive medical purposes. Okay. Does that make sense to people?
Yeah, snake venom can be deadly, but can also
Find
be
some, what you're
useful
looking for
medical
is a phrase that will take all of the things on the list into account. It goes back to our same thing. You have, once you get that list made, your main idea has to take into account all of those things. You can't leave one of them off. So you want a main idea that takes everything into account. Okay? Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to go for a break for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to have you come back and get into groups. I'm going to put you in groups, and I'm going to have the groups do, one group is going to be assigned one of the remaining paragraphs. The group is going to come to a consensus. You all may have a different answer. You guys need to decide which answer is best, and then you are going to elect a scribe. What does that mean?
Someone to take notes.
I was wanting to.
You're going to elect a scribe, yes, which is someone who's going to write. This root has to do with write, as you can see from the Spanish, if you know the Spanish for it. And the scribe is going to come up and write your answer on the board. And then we're going to discuss them, okay? We're going to discuss all the answers. So let's go on a break till 10 after 2.
My group calls number 6, but we're late on.
What?
6 is like the easiest one out